everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. So before we get going on today's project, I wanted to remind you that this card posted, it would be the tutorial that posts right before this. And then after I say this today, I'm going to film, I have like 3 or 4 projects. I'm going to try to get them filmed today so I can have some auto posting when we're on vacation. But I won't say what day it is because one, I have to get them filmed and then uploaded and edited and then posted. And we only have one. I have today and tomorrow before, vacation day is here. So we'll see how much we get going. But if I disappear for a few days, that's why. But this project's up. It uses the dioramas, which we're going to use today, and those are featured in my upcoming summer retreat. And that's online. So be watching for the registration to post for that towards the end of May. And it also uses the suite that's featured on this year's catalog front. Expressions in Ink is the suite name. Artistically Inked is the bundle name. But I have just opened registration for that online class, and it will be in early June. You can register through the end of May to take that class. It's an online class, and there's 3 different ways you can participate with the stamps in the bundle, or just the card supplies, or just the videos. So all that's on my website. There'll be a link down underneath this video. If you don't have a copy of the upcoming annual catalog that just started a couple weeks ago, let me know. If you're in the US and you don't have a demonstrator that you buy from, I'd be happy to send you one. Once you order from me, then you always get them because you're in my mailing list. So today we are going to use Wild Cats. So I did buy this because this silhouette here she's kind of sitting like that right now, but she's out of screen frame. But I will post a picture of when I was setting up and she was right in the middle of it. I love anything different. So if it's different, it's right up my alley. And I love leopard print, although today I'm using the tiger. But I love everything about this. I love that it can be for kids, it can be for adults, it can be masculine, it can be for themed parties. It can just be a fun, like a fun thing to give somebody. And then it also has the greenery, and it works with a lot of our other tropical sets. There's just a lot about it. There's this Thanks You're the Beast. If you have a Beauty and the Beast fan in your family, you don't even need the rest of it. You can just use that little thing. But I think even it would be fun for graduation cards with this You Are Fierce. So many uses. It's not like, oh, there's a floral birthday set or a floral Mother's Day set. It's something really different, and it's very easy to use. So I'm going to do a vanilla card base, and then I'm going to use the designer series paper that comes with this suite. It's so pretty. The suites in this year's catalog feature 4 items. So stamps, dies, sometimes a folder. This one has a folder and paper, so they're not more than 4, but you can see it's really fun. You could get the paper and not have to get the stamps, although you're not going to have the fun little twisty sentiments. If your family has vacationed at Animal Kingdom and you scrapbook, you need this because it looks like Animal Kingdom paper. So I pulled this piece out, and we're going to build our diorama all off the one piece of paper, because when I did the first time with the dioramas, anything that's super different like this is a learning curve. So this is just a standalone die set. Here's them all, and I'm using these 2 pieces. So I'll show you how I made the most out of the use of one piece of paper, and that's why I went from a leopard to a tiger, because of the back of this paper. But I love this piece of paper. It's really pretty. Even not in this suite, I would like that piece of paper. So let's stamp our little tigress first. So I went with So Saffron because it kind of matched the paper. And the back of the paper does have the leopard tiger print. And it is, I think it's probably, I would say terracotta, but we don't have that color anymore. So it must be like, it's Cajun Craze. So I'm going to stamp her in the So Saffron. But tigers can be kind of yellow, and it's art, so tigers can be purple if you want them to be purple, especially if you're making a child's card. So you can leave it like that if you just want the profile, but then you can add all of the details to it, and that's really where the fun comes in. So they have the 2 little faces. So there's a tiger face and a leopard face. And I think that if you wanted to do a lion, we could figure out how to, I'm going to have to put this kind of out of screen. You could do it on your Stamparatus. I didn't have any trouble lining it up the first time, but now I'm on camera. So that just goes right over the top. So we have her little face, super sweet. And the nice thing is, again, it's art, so don't get hung up on it if they're not exactly where you wanted them to be. If you want them exact, then take the time to set up your Stamparatus. But I don't know that you're gonna get a whole lot better than this with using your Stamparatus, and you'll just waste time trying to get it all lined up. So just go for the best. Now this kind of lines up along her back and along the edge. Her legs don't get any tiger print. But you know, if you look at both of my cats, their coloring is never exactly as we would make it if we were drawing it. So now we have those, super cute. And then the only other piece of stamping that I'm gonna do is I went with the Have a Wild Birthday. Could have switched it up for this card since I've already done this one, but we'll go with it again. I like the font. I think it's fun. And again, this sentiment could be used with other stamp sets. It doesn't have to be with your tigers and leopards and cheetahs and whatever kind of wild cat you choose to make. So let's cut this first. So this is 4 by 5.5 because I wanted the whole sheet of paper to have this pretty stuff. I didn't want to lose a quarter for any kind of frame on this one. So I laid it on here, and then I just laid, and they're probably going to go opposite because I'm not quite sure how I laid them on my first card, because you see they're kind of blobby. So just lay it in the center, and then I took one that was 2 sizes down. And again, it doesn't match. It doesn't have to match because when you flip these over, they're not going to match. So however you want to lay it in there, you just want to make sure that there is a border. No, it's not great. Let's go that way. So the other way I had it, it was going to make some skinny kind of borders. So just lay that on. And then one pass through is going to give us all of the, too many plates. That's what happens when you move everything on your desk to make room for your cat. So just roll these through. And then we'll come back to this when we're ready to mount it. We'll go ahead and get this other stuff cut out. So we have the lion, tiger. In my mind, as I was thinking, what kind of cat do I want this to be? I've thought about them all, so now they're all in my head. So put this on there. And then there's really fun greenery dies that come in this set. So I have this, the 2 colors that match the paper in the greens are the evergreen and the succulent. I should have switched that. I thought about switching it, but it is what it is now. I'm going to switch these though from my other card. So there are 5 little greenery pieces, and they cut and emboss. So when they come out, you have some really pretty, lovely embossed images as well. Just takes one pass through with these. And now we just have to stick it all together, and it's really super simple. So let's fold this card in half. I have a one of my shirts on that I love. It's a little large for it. It's an extra large, and it's really too big for me, but I wanted to wear it because, you know, it was so appropriate for this card. It's, you know, one of the ones that you wear around the house when it's nobody else is here, and it's just comfy, but it's way too big, as you can see as it goes over my arms. So let's take this, move all of your pieces off that you don't need. So we have these pieces. So here's how I set it up. I wanted this one to be the contrast, and this is then where my tiger came in as opposed to a leopard. So you have this, you have this. So you just want to kind of like lay this here, and we're going to start with this piece here. So you want it to show, but I also wanted white to show because I just want it to be a fun little effect in the back. So I just held it like this, and then just kind of pulled it through. So now that's where I want it to be. And then I just took my adhesive, and this card's gonna be raised up. Well, and for one, it doesn't have to be perfectly placed on here, but just add a few pieces of adhesive. But since it's raised up, if any of the adhesive is sticking out the edge, it doesn't matter. So we have that for our first layer. And then I have this, and I just took regular dimensionals. And I don't have any white ones sitting here, so because I just used the last of them up, and I meant to get more before I filmed. So just regular dimensionals for this. We'll hold this in place. So these are our black ones. And then I just kind of angled this so my flowers were going kind of the same direction as my paper. So again, now we just have this fun little grouping of things. Now I took our foam adhesive, our foam strips, and I found it is easier to attach them to the card and then lay your card on it. So put one down here, and it helps that it's the paper's cut 5.5, because you can go all the way up to the edge and it's going to cover it up. I don't go to the total edge, but close to. Got that. And then I took this one here and cut it in half, because you don't really need a ton on the sides, but it does need a little bit of support. And then remember to pull these off when you want to double layer, because I want this, when I did the other card the other day, and I used the Artistically Inked, after it was done, I wish that I had raised this up, because I think it just fits it gives a little bit more dimension. And if you're going to go to this trouble to make the pretty diorama, you want all those different layers. Plus, if you're doing more layers than I'm doing, then this is how you would do it. So just lay this on here. They always have to make sure you take this piece off, because if you don't, they won't stick, because that's the thing that it peels off of, so it will just fall off. Put that there. So you need 2 full strips. So part of the reason I'm playing with these dioramas is so I know, kind of know what we need for summer retreat. So I'm pretty sure that these will be included in the mailed packets, the foam adhesives, so you can play with your dioramas. Because it's just new, different, and we haven't had it before. Now I'm just going to set this aside for a second and not peel those off until we're ready to mount the whole thing together. So pull out your little tiger. Add some adhesive to her. Let's go put her right here in the middle. I tried to not get her head so it was right before on mine. Like if you do it too close, you can see it looks like she has a crown on. So just kind of position it so she's placed well with the flowers on your background. And then we're going to take all these fun pieces. So we have this. I will take some up close pictures. They come out super easy, but because they're so delicate, you have to be, it's like the Operation game. Did you play that when you were kids? That's what it reminds me with these really fine dies. That one needs a pokey. That one needs a pokey. And that one does. The rest of them came out. So see, they're out, but because they're so detailed, they just get stuck on themselves. So poke these 2 out. I hope you can see that they have that really pretty embossing on them. So there I have the kind of lines cut in them for some effect. And this one even has like the teeny tiny little leaves cut out with holes. So super cute. So get these out. We'll just have all of our pieces ready, and then the card will be finished. And then here's my Have a Wild Birthday. And I just used scissors, because if you can use a pretty tag or something, but there's already a lot going on this card, and it's going to cover up some of your stuff if your saying's too big. And I wanted all of the things that I'm putting on the card to be the star of the show, and for it to just say Have a Wild Birthday. And then I took the wild and my Cajun craze and just kind of highlighted that kind of in a wild way. And then, whoops, trim this out. And I just kind of did a fun little close to my words. That way you don't really have to worry if it's straight, because it's close to the words and nobody's going to notice. Plus you're putting it on this pattern background. Oh, and I just tore it. But we can fix it. I'm just gonna I'll just glue that together when I put it on my card. I'm a casual stamper, as you can see. I don't let a lot bother me. Now, need this. So then decide which way's up and down. And you just kind of pick. Which way do we want to go? I don't know which way it goes on my other one. I think it goes this way. So then I just took and added some of my greenery because this was what I wanted. This was why I chose this set, again, to go with the dioramas, because it has the fun elements that you can add to it through all the windows. I am a huge fan. I do a bunch of trifold window cards that you can have all this stuff on. And so then I took one of these and I've switched the color from my other one so we can see which one we like best. So if you do it, or you could even mix. So I put one on this side. And I just flipped this over. Oh, come on. They're very, very dainty. And then just put one so it's kind of coming through the back. So we have those. Then I took this one. My tiger's waking up. And I just put a little bit of adhesive on this one. Just kind of have it, and I only put adhesive on the bottom. I didn't use any of the sticky strip. It would make it easier, but then it would be sticky everywhere. And I just want that to have a little bit of life to it. So now pull all these off. And here's a secret, I didn't pull these off because they don't need to stick. The rest of it's gonna hold it together fine. And it's easier to put it on if you're not sticking as you go up. So line this center at the bottom. See if you drop this and you've taken that sticky off. And not pressing down on it until it is where you want it. So got that. Now let's glue my little problem sentiment back together. So put this here. After I film, I'm going to do another one of those and I'll fix it, but I didn't want to take the time to do that while we're here. And then just add this. And then just for one fun little effect, I used the teardrop ones, and it kind of looks like a little bit of glistening stuff falling from the vines. But let's try this one because this color combination matches as well. So I just added a little. Now, I don't think there's any reason that this couldn't be a masculine card. If you're going for the masculine card, then the teardrops would be a better choice. These are probably more of a card for your girlfriend or your mom, your daughter. Oh, come on. You are taking your kids, or you're having a party at the zoo. How much fun would this be to make invitations? I thought about tying some twine on. I thought about doing a lot of different things. But as there's a lot going on this card, so you don't really need anything else. Here's one where I did not tear my saying, and here it is with the teardrops. So on my website, you'll be able to go and see the difference between the two. They're both, it might look on camera like they're getting lost in the paper. It's more of when you move it, then you see them, especially these. I think I actually like the teardrops better. But this is super fun. Remember, I'm going to be on vacation. So, and this week my VIP videos, my pansy class went out. So I don't have time to tape as much of my free content as I normally do. But if you are interested in taking any of my online classes, my retreat, just get on my email list, and then you'll always be up to date with what's going on. Everybody have a wild day. Bye.